anniversary meeting. About half of you guys. Okay, great. All right. So my name is Mike Terrell. I run the user group, and tonight we've got a few sponsors. We've got Ivanti, which is AKA Shavlik. So they acquired Shavlik recently. They sponsored the food this evening. We got Parallels sponsored the parking left over from our 10-year anniversary. Trusec has brought Mr. Nystrom here, our guest speaker for this evening. Microsoft, of course, is providing the facilities, and we are raffling off a pass to the Midwest Management Summit. Who has been to the Midwest Management Summit? Not enough of you. Okay. So one lucky person will be going this year. So we've had a couple winners in the past. This will be our third time giving away a pass, courtesy of MMS. Just a brief look at the schedule. So Ivanti is going to go first, and they're going to show us some of their latest technology to see what they provide to enhance your enterprise from a security perspective. Next, we've got our very own Steve Sweeney is going to talk about PowerShell app deploy toolkit. Is anybody using that in your environment? Oh, okay, great. And then last, we've got Mr. Nystrom. He's going to talk about his very own image factory. So I'm excited to see that. And then lastly, we'll try to wrap up and do our closing and our raffles and stuff like that. So with that, we will switch it and turn it over to Ivanti. Yeah, that worked out perfect.
Ready to rock? Good. All right. First of all, how many of y'all have heard of Ivanti before? If anyone raises your hand, you're like, there's a couple of you who may have heard of us. So, myself, I've been a part of LANdesk for the last 10 years. Now, if I told you I was from LANdesk, and most of y'all are config man users in the room, boo is the immediate response that I get, right? So, but what you don't realize is I was actually part of Shavlik. So Shavlik, not as many boos, right? More of a, hey, come on in, let's talk. And it's strange coming into a Microsoft facility and coming in and speaking. And the first time I came into a Microsoft facility, I was in the Houston area SMUG, and I expected to be kicked out the door. And we started to realize real quick, hey, the Microsoft guy said, your LANdesk is really not a competitor to us. So anyway, bottom line, what you probably don't know is LANdesk has been on an acquisition spree. LANdesk went out and acquired a ton of companies. They acquired an asset management company by the name of ManagePlanet. They acquired Shavlik. They acquired AppSense. They acquired Heat Software, which is has its own problem with brand recognition because they've got Lumentum, they've got PatchLink, they've got Front Range. So all in all, we had a total of about 38 different brands, and I had about 4 or 5 different business cards that you would go in. That's a problem, right? And especially when you've got a name like LANdesk, right? And it might as well be 10-based T-Desk, right? So long story short, we made the decision to go out and change something. We followed the theme that's been going on. We started out with something with a lowercase I, so we're Ivanti, right? The concept is forward thinking. That's the actual translation over into the Italian dictionary. So, Ivanti. Now, like I said, my name is Bo Wells. I've been with the LANdesk Ivanti family for about 10 years now. And I came from the customer side. I was a portion of a very large conglomerate that we'll go through and hear some details on. But my dad used to always tell me, the best teacher is experience. So I want to tell you about an experience that really started my career. I was a help desk lead for this organization and doing my best to climb the corporate ladder. Had quite a bit of technical experience behind me, but nothing like I was about to have. So first of all, can anybody tell me what this date represents, other than the start of my career? The date of my career. There you go. Bingo. Bingo. So, and I heard another one. 7 days after September 11th, right? So, NIMDA hit. How many of y'all don't know what NIMDA was? Okay, so NIMDA, bottom line is, it was a virus that hit. That was a worm that spread through, infecting files within organizations. It hit as a denial of service that basically took your LAN to its knees. The problem was, it was the first major virus that hit. It really pointed at and explained, hey, if you don't do updates, if you don't have a proper security strategy, you're going to be in some pretty massive pain. And to give you an idea of the pain that we were in, this is what we represented. This is what I was responsible for supporting, and then what I was the lead of the service desk on. So we had 3 data centers that represented 45,000 servers. We had 5,000 development servers. I'm out of Austin, Texas. That's where those were located. So, and that's also where all of our admins were located. We had 10,000 test servers in a basement in St. Louis, and we had 30,000 production servers in the IBM Equinox data center. We didn't have a single employee that lived in Chicago, which is where I was located. So, completely lights out. The most we could ask for was someone to go in and push the power button and replace a hard drive, and that was pretty expensive to have them go in there and do that. So, we had 75,000 end users. They were spread across 100 physical facilities. We had 100 plus Windows NT 4 domains. You can cringe now. We had 6 server admins for those 45,000 servers. So, needless to say, we were slightly busy. None of us had much of a social life. We had 14 help desk technicians, including myself, supporting 75,000 end users, and we had local site admins that really were glorified administrative systems because we do whatever we're told to do by phone. We had a problem, right? That's the lay of the land. So the recipe for disaster was we didn't have any inventory of computers. We had no idea really what servers we had, much less if this server's down, what happens. We had no centrally managed antivirus solution. Everything went out to the internet. Problem, right? We had no patch management initiative. We hadn't ever even installed WSUS's former life back then. We had no deployment tool set. PS Execute was the best deployment tool that we had internally. Problem, right? All users were administrators. That's awesome. And if we were to take their admin rights away, it's no big deal because pretty much everyone knew what our local admin password was. Recipe for disaster, right? And not a single person was responsible for information security, but I think you probably already figured that part out. What we had in our corner. So, this was our #1 tool, guys. 13,000 lines of code, and we didn't dare change it. It was written in VB, and if we changed anything on it, we immediately knew that something else was going to break. So chances were nothing changed in it because the best part was the guy had been gone for 2 years. McAfee antivirus, 462. And then a case of floppy disks. And guys, this was imperative to the rest of the story. We took floppy disks places you can never imagine. The aftermath. I was a point, so what happened here? We were infected. And for those of you that lived through NIMDA, I think there were a total of 6 different definitions released by McAfee, 4 different versions of Stinger that were released across a period of 4 days. So we took anyone that had any inkling of IT in there. If they could spell IT, they were added to domain admins. Across 100 plus domains. Then we went out, and everyone was basically sneaking in, going out across every single facility that we had. And they were basically plugging in a floppy disk, updating the definitions, installing a patch for IE7 at the time, I think it was. And by the way, our network was hit so bad that we couldn't even download the patch on-prem. We actually had to have one of the guys go home and download it. So, needless to say, guys, we were in a bad way. I averaged 22.5 hours a day for 7 days straight. I lived on it. I mean, it was everything we could do. So, 8 days later, we came back online. The problem was, who was it that said that it was 7 days after September 11th? What happened on September 11th is as it pertains to travel. Pretty much everything shut down. The problem was, this just happened to coincide with our company's equivalent of MMS or Ignite or something on those lines, right? This was our annual event that all of our sales guys and all of our customers went to. And they were in New Orleans. So we sat there and kept trying to book tickets and kept trying to book tickets. And we kept getting called, sorry, there are no flights going on right now. So I got on the first plane. It was the exact same model of plane that hit the World Trade Centers. The pilots of the plane were from Newark. And I'll never forget when they started that plane up, they started to back out and they said, guys, those were our friends. We knew those people that were on those planes. If you attempt to approach the cockpit, there are things that this plane that will do that will render you incapacitated. Don't even attempt it. So it was kind of an ominous area, right? We weren't just going to an end, we were going to do September 11th and all kinds of fun stuff. So we got there and we had to set up these wonderful 6-foot folding tables where we took our case of floppy disks. It had the latest version of Stinger on it and the latest version of McAfee SDATs. So lots of fun, right? So we got to go out and do that in our field. And of course, as you can imagine, for months to come, we had lots of great stuff coming. So the aftermath. I was, of course, appointed. You are the security team. Great. Where's my budget? You have no budget, but you are the security team. So that was fun. So we implemented a GUI-based logon script tool set. That was number one, right? We had to go out and take our number one tool that we had because I needed something to deploy whatever the heck was going to follow that. So that was item number one. We identified a configuration management tool set. We deployed it out. We developed an inventory of all the users, the devices they had. Right, we're going down the list of how you actually become an enterprise-style environment. We implemented EPO, and we had Semantic SCC at the time. We had McAfee on the endpoints. We had Semantic on the servers. And I implemented a patch management strategy. In the first 3 months, we deployed 12 million patches. Of that 12 million, 10 million were in the first 20 days. So, needless to say, we were rather busy. After we were done with the 12 million, we were still missing an additional 10 million. So, needless to say, lots of stuff going on, lots of fun. So, that was a big deal. And then after we kind of got that part underway, we started on AD migrations. I was doing 380 migrations a week. I did over 180 migrations in 12 months. My favorite one was I migrated from na.thecompany-name.local to na.thecompany-name.local. You haven't done that, you haven't moved. Thank goodness. Source domain still had one NT4 domain controller in it. So we were able to back out their AD migration. Go back to their single net BIOS manager who had an FQDN and migrate. Fun part is, that breaks the computer membership, the computer account membership of every single computer. And then we implemented an identity management solution, and we implemented a global hardware internet engine strategy. Guys, this was back before HII was cool. So trust me, that was fun. So I thought I was done. I'm starting to feel pretty confident. I'm starting to, I'm a security guy. Then I went back to my desk. I walked around the Austin facility, and my assistant said, I've been looking for you everywhere. Why haven't you been answering your pager? The CIO wants to go to the CEO's office in New York. This was when everything changed for me. I walked in there. There were 3 police officers, and it still gives me shivers when we talk about it. But there was a piece of paper that had 3 spent 45 caliber shelters, 3 pieces of brass, and it read, 1 for you in each of your homes. On the back of the paper was an email that he had sent a couple days prior across an outside email server that no one else had access to, not even through corporate sources, but someone had got that. And they had forensics in there trying to figure out who had done it. And they said, we need to audit this. We need forensics. We need to because we've got nothing. That was when I understood what information security was. It wasn't about just protecting a company's data. It wasn't about preventing viruses. It was about protecting people as well. Because there are decisions that are made inside your organization that impact everybody. So, where do I go with this? And I've got all kinds of stories. I've had to work with Secret Service in my work at Emerson. Did I say that? I had to work with FBI. We investigated murders that took place for offshore resources. You'd be shocked what you get pulled into within information security. So that gives you kind of an overview. That was the day that my career started, was when we got to Ivanti. Because that was when I started to comprehend that it wasn't just about making a computer work so that someone could launch an application and access a corporate system. So, I want to give you all a couple pieces of homework. There are some basics that you as an organization need to go out and do. We've gone through this whole thing. I want all y'all to stand up. Give me 1 second to stand up. I want to take you through a couple items. I want you to stay standing up if you can honestly tell yourself these 5 things. Sit down if you do not have a list of authorized and unauthorized devices inside of your organization, and that you stand for it regularly. I expect about half the room to sit down at this point. Okay? Do you have a list of authorized and unauthorized applications, and do you block the unauthorized applications? Okay. Have you documented, not just in your head, but have you documented a list of what is considered your minimum secure configuration for your servers and your workstations? This might be something as simple as your HII build-out process. There's no one left standing in the room. We have 4. Have you regularly scheduled internal and external vulnerability scans within your organization? There's lots of companies out there, right? Rapid7, Fortinet, all those different types of guys that go out and do this. Qualys is another big one. And then, have you removed local administrator rights from all users without exception? This includes your machine. Right? Can anyone tell me why I chose these questions? Hey, what, if you can, you have a giveaway. It's going to be a Google Home.
What you did over time.
That's fairly accurate, but not the real reason.
It's common in all businesses.
Yes? Who says? There's the answer. This is the critical security controls. Who follows CSCs? Right? I mean, this is the Bible, guys, for security. CSC comes out with a list of 100 critical security controls that organizations are supposed to follow. The top 25 really are what most organizations focus on from a security standpoint. The top 5 are considered critical. And the federal government is now enforcing that all federally, basically every public company is required to follow all 5 of these items. So, who's in violation of these? Right? So, that gives you kind of an idea. So, Ivanti, we do a lot of things. I wanted to give you a little spice on 3 areas. Area number 1. Can anyone tell me whose facility we're on and who's not number 1 exploited vendor anymore? Microsoft, right? Microsoft has been doing a lot better job. And why is that? Well, things like WSUS, things like SCCM, right? That are going out and doing a good job of patching. Let me go ahead and share out or duplicate my screen real quick. they're doing a much better job of patching Microsoft operating systems. How many of y'all use SCCM? I think I see 3 people that raise their hand. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, it's a lot of work to go out and do, right? Basically, it's a tool that it's a wizard, but you still have to do all the work. So I want to show you how you can give me 10 minutes of your time and make your environment more secure and your people in the environment more secure. So first, third-party patches. How many of y'all use config manager? Ooh, a whole room. Good. That's what they call a target-rich environment. So, third-party patches. You can go back to your environment today. It'll take you less than 10 minutes. If it takes longer, the only reason why is because we had to update .NET. And chances are it will probably take you 5 minutes. You're going to go to Shavlik.com. The product is known as Shavlik Patch for SCCM. It is a plugin for the Config Man console. The only gotcha is when you run it, you have to do this. Sorry guys, you have to run it as admin. Lots of security stuff that runs out there that some things we have to do that on. Once you do that, you come over to the software library. This is where we already go for deploying Microsoft patches. You expand your software updates. This is where we already go for Microsoft updates. And you come to Shavlik Patch. When you come to Shavlik Patch, we're going to start seeing lots and lots of updates. I'm going to go ahead and group by vendor just because I like to make it easier to read. And you're starting to recognize content, right? Really easy stuff. So what do? We come through, we find out which vulnerabilities that we want to go out and do something about. We check the box. We click Publish. Can anyone tell me how this differs from deploying a Microsoft patch? It doesn't, right? We go through the categories that you're accustomed to using already, where you're selecting the operating systems and the apps that you want to go out and patch. So we go out and give you all that. And bottom line is, you can go out, run this install in your environment, have third-party patch up and running today. The hardest part of the whole thing that I didn't show you is you have to create a code signing certificate. If you've already installed SCCM in your environment, you've already gone through that process. We will automatically adopt the cert that you already have. Piece of cake, right? Why is everyone in this room not doing this? It's cheap. It's dirt cheap, guys. This is something that you take to your boss and he just says, all right, just put that on expense, no big deal. So go out, take a look at this. I challenge everyone in this room to go out and do a download. You can publish up to 5 apps internally and never pay us. You want to update Adobe? Go for it. It doesn't expire because it puts content in a native format, and then you see it in every SCCM console that you had out there. So there's that. Item number 2 that I was going to show you. I'm hoping my session hasn't timed out. It looks like it hasn't. Who likes, I heard SRSS listed or talked about in here when we were out here. Who likes making reports and systems? Don't all jump up at once, right? I'm going to make some reports. Guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I have never administered an SCCM environment in my life. I have never once opened up an SCCM database. I could not tell you the least for one table. I couldn't list one table. I'm going to make a report for you. So I want to make a report on third-party patch management. I'm going to go out and I'm going to select a data source. I can come over, you can see all the different data sources. You can see that it's not just SCCM that we report on, right? It's a ton of items that we go out and report on. I've gone out to one of my SCCM instances. I've selected the software updates. I've told it that I want to make a report on anything third party. What's third party? Anyone? Bingo. Where the vendor doesn't contain the word Microsoft, right? So we're going to add that condition. That's the hardest part of the whole process. Now is where the fun starts. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to find some columns. And I'm going to say, show me a vendor here. That's a column chart. Show me a donut chart based upon the actual products and the severities. And then I want to come out and I want to add a date situation to this. So we're going to add a date condition. So I'm going to say during the past, go to the bottom, last 13 months. I always like that one. So we'll say okay, and now I'm going to come over to my time components. And I'm just going to say show me a line chart. How busy am I? Stop publishing third-party updates on that thing. Is there anyone in the room who can't make an SCCM report if I can do that kind of thing? You want to do the same type of report on a different part of System Center? You want to go down and do it based upon a PC inventory. We can come down and find out, let's see here, I want it based upon, I'm just picking anything literally at random. A donut chart based upon let's see if we can find maybe a PC vendor. User ID, status, software version, we can come through all the different areas. So software family, I'll drop that one over. Everything's part of the same software family, software category. You can see all the different areas. So anyway, we can come out and grab the different details. So I can see even a status. So all boxes in my environment are going to be open status of an SCCM. So, piece of tape to go out and make reports. Last item, I promised 3 items. Y'all all kind of laughed when I said, have you removed admin rights without exception, including your boxes? We have a tool set that allows you to completely remove admin rights from your users. But we all know there's applications out there that require admin rights. I can selectively elevate the permissions of applications as users run them. So that they write to sys32, HKLM, program files, whatever. It makes them require admin rights that causes them to crash and not run or whatever. I can elevate that. That's great, right? We can wrap things and do all kinds of fun stuff with that. But I can go a step further. There's all kinds of features inside of SCCM, inside of Windows. I'm adding a front. If I wanted admin rights. I had one earlier that someone said, hey, can you give me the ability to change my time zone? They weren't even giving people permissions right. And I can make it so they can selectively install whatever app they want, but not allow them to install others. So giving you that granularity where you can do things like going in and changing your Wi-Fi TCP/IP info, but not allowing them to change your physical NIC info, right? So that way it makes it really, really easy. So that's what I want to leave you with. 3 things. You can change the security posture of your entire environment with that little hanging fruit. Number 1, third-party patching. It's a 10-minute project and a very inexpensive implementation with inside your environment. Number 2, stop worrying about getting data out. Stop writing SQL queries. Use something nice and easy to go out and make these dashboards. These dashboards can be published. We even have a feature where it can go through and scan through the different dashboards that you create. Maybe one's a security dashboard, one's an ITAM, an asset management dashboard, and another one is your help desk information. Another one can even be your Cisco phone system. Here's the data that's coming in across those types of lines. And then third, I can give you an easy way to go out and remove admin rights from users so they stop making your life harder, stop making your environment less secure, and then of course, what is it that we can block if we remove admin rights from users? Last year I would block 98% of the admin rights. If users just didn't have admin rights. Right? Otherwise, they're locked into their profile. So, nice, easy, 3 steps. Guys, in the back of the room, we've got Patrick Daniels. He's one of our systems engineers at Ivanti. We've got Steve Warner. He is your standing, by the way. Steve's a good guy. Steve is your account manager, guys. He covers pretty much every single account inside of Phoenix. And if for some reason you're headquartered outside of Phoenix or anything, we're happy to help you still. We'll get you in contact with the right person. Feel free to grab him. All right. First person to raise their hand and tell me we'll give you a hard one first. Who can tell me the top 5 items on the CSC?
Yeah, the list of authorized and unauthorized licenses, give a list of authorized and unauthorized software, and you just get that. You have
What do y'all all have deployed? Which is a what tool? C. Secure, so it's a secure configuration. Okay.
You have a field of bottom line health field.
Third. That's number 3. That's part of secure configuration. Number 4.
Before is
We talked about third-party.
third-party match.
There we go. Okay, so being able to perform patching in your environment and ensure that you're performing vulnerability assessments to validate these patches are taken. And number 5, bingo. We got a Google Home. Patrick, I'll let you deliver. Steve, I'll let you deliver. I feel bad bringing the Google device into Microsoft, but I think it's probably the same thing as Lambda coming into Microsoft. Guys, we'll be in the back of the room. Please enjoy the food. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on site and talk to y'all. Thank you.